I think we're rolling.
Again?
Yeah.
We're doing another one of these?
Another one. Episode 2, baby, coming at you live.
Jesus.
So, no, wait. You were legit... Okay, so my cigar has what we call a V-cut.
Yes.
V for vagina. It is just as funny the second time around.
True it is.
But why is it V-cut like that?
So, the reason why, like most cigars, you'll see... Hold on, let me get mine lit up here.
Slow turning, huh? Is that how you do it? You slow turn it?
Always.
Okay.
Now, if we weren't doing just a podcast and video, people would have saw it. But you do a V-cut because if you do a straight cut, sometimes you get like a little bit of like the tobacco leaves that come out of it. So V-cut kind of makes it a little bit cleaner. You still get a good draw with it, but you don't get all the shit in your mouth.
Oh, that's smart. And you have a nice little fancy cutter here.
Well, that's a lighter, but good
No,
try.
I mean, like, to do the cut. That's what I was talking about.
Here, before you do that, so what a lot of people will do...
Yeah.
So this is great because people can't see shit, so I'm going to try to talk you through it. So, like you saw, like, when I was toasting the cigar, you kind of do, like, little circles, and you try to get it all white.
Okay.
White is right. And when you do that, it gives you a good cherry. So the cherry is basically just an ember that sits inside of the cigar.
Okay.
So you actually will get that nice, consistent burn. The cigar is meant to burn evenly the whole time, or you don't get all the flavors.
Okay.
So now, for all of our people at home, you just talk what you're seeing here.
All right, so you're just slow spinning from a little bit away, and you're kind of just getting the edges going, basically.
Yep. And I'm not like way on top of it like
No,
because you're not trying to.
You're a good 4 or 5 inches away, maybe.
Yeah. I'm used
Just
to 4 or
slow
5 inches. That's probably why.
Hey, and popping cherries.
Talking about my dick. So now that we have this toasted, you're gonna blow out on it. So
Blow out.
yep. And now I'm gonna hold this up, and you just take slow puffs in, just like that.
And that's all there is to it.
Yep, that's it.
Ooh, holy hell!
Yeah, this is the acid.
That's a
Cuba
whole lot of
Cuba.
flavor.
Yeah, this is probably one of the ones I've been wanting to smoke ever since I started. But for whatever reason, I was just like, I'll get that one next time.
Acid Cuba, huh?
Yeah. So this podcast brought to you by Acid Cigars. Acid Cigars.
We are not.
It's
not
not
sponsored.
cigarettes.
That's the whole ad. Acid Cigars. We are not shitty cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
My dog's over there eating grass. Hey, moron! Grass is bad for you, dude. I don't feel like cleaning up your throw up all night. Oh, great! Now you're stuck. Even better. Fantastic.
So
But I like the flavor, man. What flavor is that, though?
So that's what's interesting about Acid Cigars is there's a lot of infusion. So what they do is it's not that they spray the leaves with anything special.
Uh-huh.
What they do is they actually like sit these in barrels, and
Really?
they don't disclose like what they use because acid's very well known for their flavors. So I get a lot of floral notes. You get a lot of sweet notes. They actually
super
put
sweet, dude.
on the cap of it. They actually put sugar. So you actually get that flavor of the sugar, plus you get the tobaccos, the infusion, and all of that combined gives you... This is like the perfect beginner cigar. So,
That actually makes sense because it has a lot of flavor, and immediately I was like, whoa. Like, it jumped out
I
at me.
bet that they love the fact that you're walking away from the mic right now. Everybody, this is a quality podcast, people. I'm
Dude,
glad you're enjoying this.
There's no reason we should change things up or do things differently than we always do, my friend.
I mean, it's been working. We got like 4,000 views on YouTube.
Dude, no, legitimately. So, I actually really wanted to talk you through this because I thought this was hysterical. We legit have a lot of views and friggin' hilarious feedback. Not like a lot of views. Let's not say, let's not act like
only 10,000.
Yeah, maybe 10, 15K tops.
Yeah.
But I thought I might not even have wrote it down because I'm a moron. Nope, didn't write it down.
Cool, just wing it.
We're going to wing it. You know what's funny?
That's the name of the podcast.
I mean, the fact that that's the name of the podcast just makes sense to me, honestly. But I was talking to, might have been my mom, and she's like, what's the name of your podcast? I was like, we're just going to wing it. She's like, yeah, no, but like, what's the name of it, though? And I was like, yeah, we're just going to wing it. And she's like, no, I get that's what it's about, but like, what's the name of your podcast?
Yeah, it's
like,
kind of like people
it's
that
like, no,
are...
seriously, like, we don't have a topic. We don't have a, like, we are just going to wing it.
Yeah.
Like, at most, I might just randomly be like, hey, how do you feel about butt stuff?
Dude,
And
I'm
then
all about it.
We just delve right into that subject.
Like pinky finger, whatever.
Dude, so an unknown person that I'm not going to bring up because it would not go well. So
Does
we're not
their
going to...
name rhyme with Drake?
Maybe. No, seriously. We're not going to bring up names, but unknown person told me some really funny stories about that.
He told me some stuff.
Funny
Oh, he's definitely from the mob, so that kind of narrows it
stories
down.
and stuff about that kind of stuff. And it's super inappropriate, man. So we're probably not going to delve into it, but Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Well, that's a fucking
Dude,
cock tease if I've ever heard one. You're not going to even say anything about it?
Maybe off air. Maybe off air.
Oh, that's stupid. Everybody listening, I want you to spam Julian's social and say, talk about butt stuff in all capital letters.
So, no, for real though, we are coming up on SummerSmash.
Yes.
And I really wanted you to tell the story about the first time you called me and talked to me at all about SummerSmash.
Oh, shit. Well, we got to tell people that don't know what SummerSmash is.
Oh, my God. How do you not?
SummerSmash is basically a big-ass party that First Form throws.
What's First Form?
First Form, oh, wow, we really got to delve
So
into
I'm telling
this.
you, I don't think, I mean, some of the people who know us will listen to it and be like, duh.
True.
But a lot of people won't, so let's figure it out.
So, First Form is a supplement company, and you can attest to this too. Like, we both worked at GNC. I was your manager.
That's how we met.
I was the coolest manager you ever had.
That's how we met.
I'm the coolest manager you ever had.
That's exactly how we met.
I want you on air to say I'm the coolest manager.
Dude, you clearly are. We're best friends. I mean, obviously, you're the coolest manager I've ever met.
No, but so we worked with a lot of different supplement companies. We don't have to name drop any of them, but there were a lot that I.
That's not even a company.
Product,
It's
moron.
Cellucor is the company. Even better to name drop. By the way, C4. No, Cellucor. Excuse me. Your C4 tastes like ass now. Have you taken it lately?
Literally no.
Dude, not okay. They took all
Really?
the beta alanine out. It tastes taste is still there. Everything else about it sucks. I don't even get itchy anymore.
Right,
So dumb.
I want a sidebar. Cellucor, come here. Get your fucking shit together.
Yeah. Thank you for whispering that in Cellucor's ear, because if anything, they need to be yelled at. Like, hey, Cellucor, get your fucking head out of your ass. All right, go ahead. Continue with what you're saying.
So we worked at GNC. We worked with a lot of different companies, and they were good, but none of them like really stood out. They were all kind of the same. It was just which one looked better to you that day.
You're right.
And then after I left GNC, I found First Form. I actually went
You found it.
to Rob and Dana Bailey's camp up here in Reading, PA, when they were still here. And First Form blew me away because all these companies that were there, they were giving out samples and they were doing just the
Prizes.
typical thing. Yeah, but First Form gave you a legit full like college backpack. Like one that like has a pocket for your laptop, for all your books, like the whole nine, and a full thing of protein. I was super impressed. So I immediately looked into them. I immediately loved what they were about because they were different. They weren't just for people that were bodybuilders, physique models, bikini models. It was about the regular guy who works a 9 to 5 and still wants to be in shape, and maybe he does an extracurricular, maybe he does lacrosse or something, and he's trying to stay in shape so he can do that. And I bonded to that immediately because of my karate. I was like, I'm not just going to the gym trying to be on stage. Like, martial arts is a huge part of my life. So with all of that combined, I fell in love with it. I told Julian about it.
Yeah.
And then I called him one night because the very first SummerSmash, they said that they were going to have like 600 people. And I called him and I was like, dude, we got to go to this. It's in St. Louis, Missouri. We're not going to fly. We'll drive. Like, I don't even think we're going to get a hotel. I'll sleep in my car if I have to. And like, as I'm telling you all that, I want you to say like what you were thinking when I first started talking.
So, to be fair, we were really obsessed with Flagner Fail. Like, we loved Rob, we loved Dana, we met them in person. They're great people, and they didn't have their supplements out yet. Run Everything wasn't out, so we hadn't even tried them. So we'd used, like he said, we used stuff from GNC. I was taking Cellucor C4, which I've already talked about. Clearly, I hated. We've used a bunch of products, but then like when we started getting First Form stuff, we were like, whoa, this is way better, and like we both liked the idea of the supplement company, but like also First Form wasn't necessarily First Form yet. Like the way it is now with all the athletes and how big everything is and how big their following is, how big Andy is. Like, dude, Andy was still a big dude when we went to First Form. Remember?
Yeah,
He even attests to it. He was like, dude, I was not in shape for a long time. So like even that. So we weren't really like super into First Form, but like this idea still like we still thought it was a cool idea. But I specifically remember being on the phone with you. And I was, oh shit!
Yeah, don't inhale cigars.
Almost
So,
accidentally.
pro tip for everyone at home: don't inhale cigars.
I wanted to get a taste.
And also, don't ash it because the ash will actually keep the ember
Okay.
better, so it'll burn better. So let it fall with some grace and dignity.
Fair
You know,
enough.
this isn't just like a little pussy ass cigarette. You're like, ooh, I smell the white thing in my mouth.
That's hilarious. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't know what you're talking about right now in any way, shape, or form. I think my dog ran away. So anyway, we're sitting there and we're having this conversation on the phone, And I'm not understanding like what your thought process is, because you're just like, we'll sleep in the car, we're gonna go to St. Louis, and I'm like, first of all, how far is St. Louis? And I remember you telling me like, dude, I looked it up, it's only like 14 hours. And what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, that's not a short trip. So like, initial reaction is like, dude, where are we gonna pull money out of our asses for all this stuff? Like, this is crazy, this is nonsense. And like, out of nowhere, my flip switch, like, oh shit, Brock doesn't ever give me dumb random advice, turned on. And I was like, dude, like,
you have a switch for that?
If Brock is telling me like we should go do this, then we should 100% go do this. So like, mid conversation, I was just like, you know what? Fuck that. We're gonna do this. Mm-hmm. We're gonna sleep in the car if need be. We will get a grill. We'll cook on the side of the fucking road if we have to. Dude, your car's spacious enough. If we drop them seats back, we could sleep. We might have to cuddle. It might get weird. I don't give a shit. We're gonna do this, dude. And it literally went. That whole conversation maybe was an 8-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, maybe 3 or 4 minutes in, I was still sketched out. By minute 5, I was planning it out with you. And that's how we decided we were going to the first ever SummerSmash. And that was the first ever SummerSmash. Not even our first. That was the first ever SummerSmash.
Yep.
And it was that simple. And we just got hooked. And then we went down and we ran into... Wait. The first year we went with Ian.
Yeah, Ian came with us.
There was only 3 of us in the car first year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And so we roomed with Ian, but we also roomed with Enrique and Justin. There was 5 of us in that hotel room, correct?
Yeah, we were slamming.
So we got a hotel room in the main hotel, and we were like, literally at one point, I think we were just like, dude, if you want to come stay in our room with us, just let us know. We'll throw money towards it, whatever. So that's how we did that. And we didn't meet Enrique until 4 a.m. when we arrived in St. Louis. We drove straight through, arrived in St. Louis at 4 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock, because it was still dark.
Yeah,
like,
it was
really
early.
dark. It was really early in the morning. And we look over and Enrique was sitting on the couches. When we walked in, we're like, hey, are you Enrique? He's like, yeah, way. And we were like, okay, so you're gonna be rooming with us, right? He's like, see, way. Okay, great. Let's go upstairs and go to fucking bed. And Justin wasn't even there yet.
You got to say what I told Enrique. Now, I got to let you know. So the first year we went down, and Julian can attest to this, I drove straight through. Like, they wanted to, like, switch and stuff.
We wanted to switch. Brock was like, I'm good.
Like, nah, I got this. And a couple times I was veering off the road. We made it down safe. But I was, like, I was so out of it. Like, I shook Enrique's hand. My eyes are, like, half open. So that's the other cool thing about this is, like, First Form brings people together.
Dude.
That I legitimately have no problem if we have people that are going to First Form SummerSmash this year, and we've never met them, but they need a ride. They need... I don't know, like $20 to pay for an Uber or something. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, like, we got you.
No problem. We'll take care of it.
So I get down there, I'm sleep deprived, and I shake Enrique's hand, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Just please don't stab me while I'm sleeping. Like, that was the first thing I said. He went, ha ha, see way.
Ha ha, see way. And that was literally how we met Enrique. And we're still friends with Enrique to this day. Shout out Enrique, man. We're probably, I don't know if we're going to see him or not. I'm not sure what's going on with that situation.
I really hope we do.
I hope we do too. But it was just such a special event. It was a special thing, and we met so many awesome people from the very first time, right off the bat, that we still run into every time we go down. And like, I just can't imagine, like so this is year 5.
This is year 5.
This is year 5 now. And one year I didn't go because I got a new job and I was working, and I just started my new job in like the end of May, and like the event was in June. So I was like, dude, I really don't have a lot of money. I just started a brand new job. I can't be telling them I'm going away for a couple of days. And so I skipped 1 year. And I still, to this day, like, I don't regret much. I regret not going that year. I was upset. I was devastated.
And, like, I knew you were upset because, like, when we're down there, like, Instagram stories, just posting stuff on social media, you're one of the guys that's constantly like liking my stuff. You keep up with me. I do the same for you. But I noticed real quick, like anything I was posting, there was no likes from you. You might have commented once, and you're just like, I wish I was there.
I commented once, and I'll tell you why I commented. You guys went to the ball game.
Oh,
it was you and Rodney and Fitz and everybody was there at the ball game, and you made a video.
I bet they love the fact you're tapping on the table.
Again, like you said that last time.
Moron.
Such a dumb motherfucker. Tapping on the fucking table while we're recording a fucking
It's like, do you guys like this?
How's that sound, America? Because all of you were listening, obviously. But I did remember specifically that you made a video where you were like, "We miss you, Julian," and then you had a bunch of people in a row all say, "We miss you, Julian." And I remember it specifically because I knew a bunch of the people in the video. I don't remember off the top of my head who they were now. I know Fitz was definitely one of them, and a couple of people I knew, but I didn't know Rodney yet. Mm-hmm. And Rodney was the last guy you turned it to. Did it again. Rodney, fucking so stupid. So excited. Rodney was the last guy you turned the camera to, and he looked and he was like, "Dude, I don't even know you, Julian, but I miss you, bro." And I started laughing, and that's when I was like, "All right, I'll comment back." And I was like, "I miss you guys too." And then after that, I was like, "They can go fuck themselves because I'm stuck in fucking Pennsylvania instead of being with my boys." And I was upset, man.
Yeah, but we're gonna make up for it this year. I think it's gonna be.
I'm taking my lady down.
Oh, your lady. You want to talk about your lady?
What is there to talk about? She's awesome, and I'm not gonna mess it up.
Wow, that's a first.
That's a first.
That's a first.
That's a really mean thing to say.
I get that, man.
Dude, we're not going to go into
how many times have I fought? Yeah, we're not going to get into that. Not yet. Next podcast.
Maybe next podcast we'll jump into the freaking ice box that is Brock's heart.
Jesus fuck, dude. The ice box of my heart. That's pretty. No. Yeah, that's about right.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not.
I'm not wrong.
Not at all. Not at all.
But it'll be Megan. So my lady friend is Megan, and it'll be Megan's first time ever going to SummerSmash. Well, considering I started dating her last year in August, obviously it would be her first time. And she's a Legionnaire now, by the way.
Oh, congrats! She got in there?
She got in,
Hell
dude.
Yeah.
She just hit her like maybe 2 days ago. I want to say it was. They called her, and they're like, we jumped a bunch of people in line because we wanted it to be you.
Oh, that's
because she had like a sick bio, and then we were here the other night, and we were getting ready to watch a movie, and she was talking about. She was like, they're like all the different stuff for first form. She's like, yeah, I'm starting right now. So she went on her phone and just started it up. Just
Good
like
shit.
that, just jumped right into it. And I was like, that's awesome. I mean, she's been taking the product with me for a little while now. She loves it. She loves all the products. She gets more into the product than I do because she's really into nutrition and she knows all the little things that even like we had to learn when we started working at GNC.
Yeah.
Other funny thing that I wanted to say when you were talking about GNC, do you remember how I learned what products were good and what products were bad? Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do.
So
oh
you
God.
Literally at one
Hold
point.
on. So I got a preference. What the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Preface this.
Sure, that sounds wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're right,
wrong,
though.
But I think they get what I'm saying.
I think it.
So, working at GNC,
you learn a lot.
The time that I was there, yes, I did learn a lot just about supplements, nutrition, because I had no background in that. I was just working out. I was taking protein. I was in GNC. I was laid off from my job out of high school, and I was just looking for something part-time. But the experience I gained from GNC was phenomenal. Some of the stuff that wasn't so phenomenal, there's a lot of stuff that we are trained that, and I should say this so we don't get our asses sued. We have no money to give.
None. We're in a shed.
GNC can be we are in a legit shed. We're taking a picture of this later.
We absolutely are.
So it could be different now. But when I was there, we were basically taught that there are products that we want to kind of guide people to, and there's some products that, if given the option, we want to not steer them away, but we just want to let them know what's out there.
But they're not as good.
But basically with you, I was very comfortable, so I'm going to let you kind of be me and walk our
first official day. Mm-hmm. Our first official day, we did absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. So my first day training, quote, I have air quotes in the air right now. I'm ear bunny in it. You guys can't see it at home, obviously. Ear bunny training was legit. You and I stood behind the cash register and just straight talked for, I want to say, a couple of hours.
Oh,
like
easily.
we just stood there and just straight talked. It was probably our first ever podcast that we didn't have, and we just
first
stood
podcast,
there,
non-podcast.
First podcast, non-podcast. We literally just stood there and talked. And I remember it because I thought it was so funny that I came home and I told whoever I was talking to at the time that I did not do anything and I literally just talked all day with my new boss. Like I just stood there and was like, my manager's a cool ass dude. I just stood there and talked with his ass the whole day. And I thought that was hysterical. But day two, I remember you like actually started showing me how to do my job day two.
I was like, yeah, I feel like working today.
You showed me around the store, and you pointed at objects, and you were like, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit, this is good, this is shit, this is shit, this is not bad, this is shit, this is cheap, also not great, but it's really cheap, so it's okay. This is shit, this, and then you just rattled off every product like that. And to this day, I still call some of those products shit, even though I've never officially tried them. But off your recommendation alone, I know it's shit.
And the funny thing is Well,
Right on my first form bag. You just ashed right on my first form bag.
it's called being a chooch. So
what does that mean?
Little sidebar. So we're smoking cigars, obviously. We talked about it at the beginning. But as we're talking, we'll randomly go into like little cigar facts. If you don't know, I'm big into cigars. I'm trying to get Julian into it. I think you'd like it.
I'm big into crack right now, so it's hard to transition out of one hobby into another hobby, but I'm going to do my best.
I mean,
the fact that there's no needles or spoons involved that you heat up is a big downside for me. But in general, I'm digging the way this tastes.
There you go.
So if you could get this to look more like powdery dust and less like a cigar.
I mean, you just take the ash and just mainline that.
Snort it, baby. All right, go ahead, though.
So whenever you do...
Chula. What did you say?
No, it's called a chooch.
Okay, chooch.
A chooch is someone who does something stupid while smoking a cigar. Kind of like somebody who does silly things at the gym.
Or like inhaling when I was in the middle of my fucking sentence earlier.
So that's a chooch move. So like I did a chooch move. Like you let your ash hang on your cigar, you let it fall with grace. Usually if you're, not in a shed, you would have like a nice little ashtray, which we should probably mount one in here.
No, we absolutely are going
to. Oh, we're going to grab this paint bucket right here.
That's not...
I'll just put it on top just so it's somewhere to fall. Just so it's not all over the place.
Oh, okay, so you just go like that and
go
let it fall.
tap. Yeah.
Let it fall gracefully.
Now,
it's not ready.
So if it's not ready to fall, you just kind of let it chill out and just kind of like stay close to it. Or you could do this. You can kind of set it down and roll it like this.
Should I do that?
Yeah,
because I have a lot of ash on mine.
There you go. So just kind of slowly roll it. A little more angle to it. There you go. Just like that. There you go.
And that's it.
And now you don't have to worry about it falling off for a bit.
I like that.
So a chooch move would be like if you inhale a cigar. Like that's a big thing that people... And I understand like cigars and cigarettes kind of get lumped together because of the tobacco. The difference is cigars have nothing else added to them. It is literally bundled up fermented tobacco leaves. Granted, yes, there is nicotine in it, but you don't inhale. This is literally like taking wine and doing a wine tasting and spitting it back out. You're not taking it for effect. Like some people say like, oh, you get like a mad crazy buzz when you do a cigar. Like, no, you don't. Unless you inhale them like a crackhead, like you just did.
Again, crack addiction. What do you want me to do? So literally on the way home today, I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast, and he talked about cigars, and he said that you can get high on cigars. And the whole time he's talking, I was like, dude, I've never experienced that. Well, but I've also never smoked more than one cigar. I've never smoked a cigar to completion, which we'll easily do today. Yeah. We're only 20 minutes in, and I feel like I'm at least a quarter of the way in, almost half.
Almost at the end of your first third. So I should say this, like, now I kind of get what he's saying, because, yes, there's some that if they're...
A sense of euphoria, he's stated.
Yes, if you, like, the euphoria, like, what's nice about cigars versus, like, a cigarette, you're trying to take it for an effect.
Yeah.
You're trying to suck it in, you're getting it into your lungs, you're getting it in your blood system to kind of calm you down, relax you. Cigar is, like, the exact opposite. You're letting it sit in your mouth so that you can taste the flavors of the cigar, and then you're blowing it out. What the euphoria is, you have to take your time with this. This isn't something that we could do in 10 minutes. You have to sit, you have to allocate time for you to literally sit down and focus on one thing. And that's the euphoria part.
Which I like, but also, it's like a sidebar, but also the same thing. Right before you got here, I read from Tim Grover. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
The guy who trained Michael Jordan?
Yes.
He's big with Andy now.
Mm-hmm.
And his book, Relentless. If you have not read that book, did you read it?
No.
The book.
The book? No,
he has a book.
Yes.
Did you read his book?
Yes.
His book is amazing. I mean, it's very basketball related, so I know it's hard to get through for some people. About cleaners and all that. Amazing book. If you have not read this book, you need to go read this book. Funny thing, he just posted right before you got here, which I don't think you had time to see it. I don't know how recent it was, but I thought it was right before you got here. About people doing 75 hard.
Yeah.
And they're listening to audiobooks instead of reading 10 pages.
I saw that.
Did
on
you read
Andy's.
it?
Yeah, I'll let you talk about it.
And
though, cool.
So basically what's going on with 75 hard, which is like the definition of hard. Because you and I both tried it for maybe a couple of days, and we were like, dude, not happening.
I literally,
not our lifestyle.
I literally fucked up on, it was like day 5 or 6. Literally, it was my fault. I fucked up.
Yeah,
I did not take my gallon jug with me to work. I came home. I had to go right to karate. It was the end of the day, and like I was like legitimately going to guzzle down almost a whole gallon of water before bed, and I don't know what happened, but I fucked up. I forgot, and literally the first thing I thought of when I woke up was, fuck. I fucked up. Yeah. And I wasn't going to lie about it. I was like, you know what? I fucked up. I'm going to start fresh. I have a lot of stuff going on right now, which we'll talk about later. Yeah. And it's not that I couldn't do it right now, but I wouldn't be able to do it, and I know I would not be able to do it to completion, and I want to do it to completion.
Which would be awesome.
Oh my god.
But also, realistically, there's no way we could start it now because with SummerSmash only 40 days away. Like, SummerSmash is one of those things where you want to experience all of SummerSmash. So for people doing 75 hard, I'm not telling you to give up at all by any means, especially if you're at like day 60 or some crazy shit like that.
Up.
Dude, get it done. Absolutely get it done if you're that close. But if you're one of those people right now who's sitting down going, you know what? I think I'm going to start 75 hard right now, go to SummerSmash and kill it. Good fucking luck. Because SummerSmash is one of those things where we're going to be stopping to get donuts. We're going to be going and eating big. And it's just not an easy place. St. Louis has a lot of good food, man.
Yep.
Like, we go there and we pig out on great places to eat.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of cool shit to experience. Even the actual event itself, hard to get clean food at that event. Like, at SummerSmash. Like, there is some things there, but at the same time, like, you don't want to not be able to indulge.
Because you have,
and have a good time. And beer everywhere, dude.
Oh, my God.
You're just drinking alone.
Like,
and you can't drink on 75 hard.
Like, my favorite thing was, like, last year I went there, I was like, ooh, I can get a really healthy steak. And then right next door, ooh, cheesecake on a stick. Like, yeah, I'm doing both. Like, absolutely. So,
which is true. That's the way it was. But back to what I was saying, though. One of the goals in 75 hard was to read 10 pages a day. And I love that goal because I'm doing a similar thing on my own right now where I'm trying to read 5 books in 100 days, which is going to be very difficult.
That's dope.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I just learned it when everybody else learned it.
Nice. But that's one of the things that, you know how I posted about trying to do a whole bunch of things over the next 100 days, though? You know about that, though.
Yeah.
About, like, there's a whole bunch of other things. That
like stop doing crack.
Stop doing crack is probably 2 on the list. Number 1, I'm not going to state out loud. I like it. I like doing crack. No. But seriously, I'm trying to read 5 books over the next month, and I'm deep into 1 book. I like the idea, like we were talking about with cigars, that you have to actually sit down and read books. Mm-hmm. When you're audio booking or I love podcasting. I listen to podcasts all the time. I enjoy them. But I do it when I drive. Mm-hmm. Like, I listen to podcasts all the time when I drive. I listen to podcasts when I'm, like, at the gym, when I'm doing cardio. I can't listen to them when I work out. I think that's weird. I know people who tell me they do that. I find that weird. But the goal behind those things is to think, is to be pensive, but you can do other things. And that's what Tim literally says in his post. He's like, you can do your homework, you can do your cleaning, you can do your job while listening to an audiobook. The goal is to sit down, pull out a fucking book, and read 10 fucking pages. Like, it has to be... How do you describe it when we were talking about the cigar? It has to have your attention.
Yes.
This has to have your attention. Mm-hmm. And we could not smoke these and do anything probably other than a podcast. Other than, like, I've seen you do, like, on social, take a couple of snaps or whatever. But, like, I feel like a majority of your time when smoking a cigar goes to the cigar.
Absolutely. And
even just having long periods of talking right now, I'm like, damn, I can't fully smoke my cigar with all these long periods of talking. It actually literally takes your time and attention, which I love.
It does. So... now we got to try to get back on track because we got like 15 sidebars open.
God damn it.
So I think we left off at, like, we were talking about GNC and stuff. So I was training you. I showed you some stuff. Now with that though, our store was literally like in a closet in a strip center.
Yeah, it was bad.
We would see like maybe 5 or 6 people a day. But the thing that made us excel, because I remember even telling you, and I still remember like the weird look you gave me, because I straight up told you, I was like, we don't have a lot of customers. We don't have, like, the availability of, like, a mall store that would see, on a slow day, 30 to 40 people.
Yeah, on a very slow day. There was some stores that saw way more than that.
But I told you straight up, I was like, we are going to be one of the top performing stores. I was like, I'm going to show you how we're going to do it step by step. We're going to make it happen. And I remember you just kind of like what you're doing now. You're like nodding your head like, yep, yep. And then in your mind, it was like, there's no fucking way that's going to happen.
Which we did actually, though.
Yes.
We actually were wildly successful for how shitty that store was.
And
when we had people. There's no getting around the fact that we could not bring people into that store.
And this is like the biggest disconnect that I saw with GNC was, yes, you had to hit certain percentages with like multivitamins, your gold card sales, things like that. There were so many different things that they tracked, but where people went wrong was they were trying to chase a number rather than help people.
Yeah.
I found out real early on, like, I became a store manager within 4 months of working there, just because GNC the way fuck you, man.
I had to be because you left.
You were like, I gotta go.
It wasn't like I was fantastic at my job. It was like you were like, hey asshole, you're the only option I got. And I was like, oh great. Well, go ahead.
But what I found out real early on was if you took your focus away from the numbers, and you focused on helping people. Because the numbers were there
Yeah.
to see if you were helping people, but people got it backwards. They were thinking that if they help their numbers, then it will show that they're doing the work for the customer.
Yeah.
What I found out real early on, especially working at lower volume stores, you have the opportunity to give 1,000% of your attention. If you only see 2 people a day,
Yeah.
each person
You
gets...
could spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes with them.
Yes.
And all of your time and attention.
And there were some times where I would talk to someone and they wouldn't buy a single thing, but they would come back a week later and they would just buy everything I talked about because they went home, they researched what I talked to them about, how it would help them, and they would always come back and buy. And that's how we made our business work.
Yeah.
And that's, again, going back to another sidebar about First Form, that's why I resonated with them so quickly, because I saw right from the beginning what they're about. It's not about taking protein powder and getting big. Like, yes, that stuff's fun. That stuff is enjoyable. But the fact that they would take their time to educate people and not ask for a dime. It wasn't, you never felt obligated. Like, you could call and ask a question, and you would literally get anybody at HQ that could sit on the phone with you for like 20, 30, 40 minutes and talk to you, and they would not at one point be like, so yeah, you're going to buy today, right? You would never get that feeling.
They don't push sales.
No. And it works.
They don't push sales, and they don't have to be honest with you.
Nope.
And that's the one great thing about even being a Legionnaire, is that we have the ability to go out and be sick salespeople and make buku money off of people from doing that. And you and I will not do that.
No.
We refuse to do that. And that's part of the reason why being a Legionnaire is so special, because there is people out there who make it their full-time job and do that, and that's sick, and they should do that. But there's a huge difference between if someone came to me right now and was like, do you want to be a top performing salesman for First Form and sell and blah, 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 blah. And I would turn to them and be like, am I selling or am I helping?
Yes.
Because if you're not helping, get the fuck away from me.
Exactly.
Like, I need to be helping.
Yes.
Like, if what you're trying to ask me for is not worth your time or my time, whatever, like, I'm not going to sell it to you. And I specifically remember that because I remember a friend of ours, Jake, his sister, actually, I don't even know if you ever know this story, his sister Leah, who I still know and I still talk to all the time, she's awesome. She came to me one time and asked me about a fat burner. Mm-hmm. And I specifically remember that she wasn't in fat burner stage. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't, like, I was just talking to Megan about this today. I don't like the idea of people taking fat burners who aren't either competition or already in good shape. Like, I think if you're taking a fat burner, you need to either be in good shape and already have all the other things down.
Yeah.
Like, if you make a list of everything that you should do before a fat burner, there's a lot of things on that list before a fat burner.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely positives to if you're like, I need something for some energy. Because I remember you and I both went through a kick where we were like, dude, I take fat burners just to give me a little kick in the ass halfway through the day. And it works. But if you're not eating healthy, if you're not working out at least 4 days a week, if you're not motivating yourself every single day, like, even motivating yourself, I think, is more important than a fucking fat burner, dude. If you don't wake up and say to yourself, like, you know, motivate yourself to get the fuck out there and fucking do something, you shouldn't be taking a fat burner, dude. Because there's so many other things, freaking multivitamin, greens, level 1, protein, ignition, all those things come before a fat burner. All those things. Glutamine, I would put before a fat burner. Creatine, I would put before a fat burner. Like, fat burner is probably like 10 on the list. And I remember she came to me and said, like, I want to try this fat burner. I really want to. And I'm like, listen, do I think that a fat burner will give you like a little kick in the ass and get you going? Sure, probably. But there's so many other things that I think you need to be doing first before you start messing with fat burners. Yeah. Like, and that was one of the reasons why I couldn't, like, I gave her a recommendation for a fat burner and I'm pretty sure she bought it. But I remember telling her, like, if you don't do the other things, that fat burner's not going to matter. You're just making your shit cost $40. And that's really all it comes down to.
If
you're not,
shit costs $40.
That's all you're fucking doing, dude. Like, really, if you really sit down and think about it, what is the good that you're going to get out of a fat burner? Other than, like I said, maybe a 2 o'clock kick in the ass. Which, in that case, buy a fucking Bang energy drink. Get a fucking kick in the ass that way, dude. Like, that's going to be cheaper, number one. And number two, I think there's more benefits to it anyway. Like, you can, you know what I mean? Like, you're not putting something in your body. You know what I mean? There's just so many other things. And that was a big thing for me when I was discussing the idea of like you said, everything came down to, we need to build you up. We need you to start from scratch. Do your vitamins, you know, get your greens in, get your freaking protein in, go to the fucking gym, eat fucking clean, and then we'll talk. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the big things that we did at GNC.
And going on everything that you said, so now I want to ask you this. So why is it that people think, so take it to bare bones.
Yeah.
Why is it that people think their first thought, okay, I want to get healthy, I want to get in shape, I want to get fit, I need a fat burner? Why is that the first thought? Why do you think that is?
I think the main reason is because the biggest words that I hear whenever people talk to me about anything is wanting to lose weight. Mm-hmm. And people think, I need to cut my fat. And there's literally a product called a fat fucking burner. Mm. That's probably what it comes down to. Or it's a magic pill, it's easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And everybody wants that easy, quick. Everybody wants the short-term solution to a real long-term issue. It's a long-term problem. You need a long-term solution. You are not going to fix the fact that you're fat and out of shape overnight by popping a couple of pills for 30 days. Exactly. It's not going to happen.
So, and you basically said in there, what I was hoping that you would say is, it's advertised to people. Yeah. It's advertised as a fat burner.
Fat burner.
That's the reason why a lot of these companies I don't resonate with, because does First Form advertise their fat burner? Absolutely.
Sure they do.
But the thing that changes it is they always and forever will say, this is only going to help you increase the results that you're currently getting. So if you're not exercising, if you're not eating correctly, if you're not disciplined to do these things consistently, these pills will not help you.
No.
These will not give you results.
They're not going to help you out at all.
So they would much rather sell you, not even sell you, they would much rather recommend that we get you on a regimented program, that you can stick with that consistently. Depending on what you're doing, depending on your lifestyle, we might recommend that you take a protein supplement. We will definitely recommend a greens, because I don't care who you are.
Oh my God.
I don't, and even if you do eat legitimately, like let's say that you eat 4 salads a day and you eat like a whole thing of fruit, like yes,
which is weird.
It'd be very weird. Save the salad. Give me the chicken.
Where's my fucking chicken?
But even if you're doing all that, like the way that food is processed nowadays, you're probably not getting every single thing that your body needs to function. And that's why they have something like the greens and the microfactor. Everything in there is literally your foundation to get your house built. And your house is your results. That's what you want. Kind of like the shed we're in. Yeah, you know what? It is a little, you know, man? It's crammed, it's jam-packed.
Bang on this shed all you want. I thought it was a great fucking idea, to be honest with you.
Hey, I think it's fucking cool. I'm actually excited for this picture to upload. Like,
I can't wait for you guys to see what I fucking did. Like, it's so funny. But, like, since we did our first podcast, I've been thinking about this nonstop. And you know, I've been bugging you. I've been going crazy, uploading it everywhere. I made a fucking YouTube channel. I turned this into a YouTube video, which was not easy to do, by the way. That took me a solid 2 hours to figure out how to turn this audio clip into a video clip and blah, blah, blah. Like, it took a lot of bullshit for me to get this on the YouTube. And then on top of that, getting it spread all throughout the other ones that it goes to and everything. But I really like the idea of this podcast. And people who have listened to this already have said, like, you guys flow naturally, which this is just us talking. Let's be real here. We're not doing anything crazy.
Yes, this is not scripted. I'm not... Page 2. I am not reading off of a script. But haha, Julian, you are funny.
People have hung out with us in the past and heard us talk back and forth to each other and been like, A, you guys are morons, and B, you guys are funny. And I was like, that's what podcasts fucking are, dude. And that's what I like so much about this idea. And that's why I've been harping on you as much as I've been harping on you, because I love the idea. And like I said, we could never, ever turn this into shit. And it wouldn't bother me, because I think that we're going to listen back to these someday and laugh. And that's what I said the first podcast, and I stand by that. Because we're idiots.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're just going to listen to this someday and just be like, oh my God, what is wrong with us? We're so fucking stupid. But that's, the shed... Yeah, this is not impressive. I mean, like, when I say a shed, I mean, like, on the back of my property, there's a shed where we just store shit. And there's boxes. These are hula hoops, by the way. Oh, this is a fucking hula hoop this is Megan's.
Yo, you got a Batman Lego thing?
I don't know if that's... It might be Batman. Oh, we'll get it out.
I'm really scared to move anything. I feel like
don't move anything, because these are all silk screens. For when I made t-shirts. Oh, shit. One of yours is in here somewhere.
I'm wearing mine right now.
You're wearing your shirt, man. I'm gonna get a picture of that later. I still to this day, man. That's that's like a soft spot in my heart. Silk screening. I want to get back into it.
You should, man.
It's not easy to do all the time, but I'm planning on it when I have a little bit more space. I don't want him to get hit by the ashes. He has some ashes on his head. Talking about my dog, by the way. Oh, but before I get too far into this, my sister listened to this podcast, and what's the first thing she said to me? And I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to be like, all right, hold on. What I'm going to do, this is going to be a fun little segment we're going to do here. I don't want my dog touching my cigar. He won't touch it. He's not stupid. Just hold it for me. So I'm gonna take this piece of paper here. I'm gonna tell you what my sister heard this podcast, listened to it for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then this is the comment she gave me back. I'm gonna say it to you, and I'm gonna estimate what you're gonna say back to me. Okay, so I'm gonna write down on this piece of paper here.
All right, I'm not looking at what
he's
he's
not
writing.
looking.
I'm actually just enjoying my cigar. So while you're writing that down, so anybody that, and we're probably gonna post this onto the First Form page.
Why wouldn't we?
Oh,
well,
absolutely.
we should. The reason why I think we really should is because we talk so much about First Form. And today, was one of the things I wanted to mention to you. Someone went on the page and literally said, "First time coming to First Form. First time coming. What should I expect? Blah blah blah."
Oh, that was Brock.
Brock, dude, you commented on it. I forgot you.
He's got a badass name.
What up, Brock? His name was Brock. I want to say Hadley, something like that.
Something, yeah.
H something. And he was like, first time coming. I think was he the one who was talking about being overweight or whatever?
Yes.
And that's why I was like, big dudes unite.
I like that.
Because, dude, if you're listening to this and you're worried about going to SummerSmash and being overweight, fuck that. You're going to have a fucking great time. And it doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are. We met all kinds of fucking sick people. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people there who are shredded. Fatty six-pack. Justin is one of the most shredded dudes who's going to be there.
He's
so fat.
He's so shredded he's fat.
It's
so
like
upsetting.
He's so shredded and in such phenomenally good shape that we're like, fuck you, you fucking fat ass. That's how, it's annoying how good he looks, dude. Every time I see pictures, I'm like, you fucking motherfucker, dude. Like, it's just another level of fucking great. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get back into what I was going to say. I think we should post it because I want people to hear what we had to say, and I think that they'll enjoy a lot of the content that we put in here.
And if they don't, they just won't talk to us, so it's all
not
good.
my fucking problem. You know what I mean? So my sister listened to the first 5 minutes, and her feedback was, so this is where you're gonna give me whatever you say. I wrote down what I think you're gonna say.
Just to make sure I got this. So you're gonna read it, and I'm gonna say back my
whatever
response.
your first response to that. So my sister heard the first 5 to 10 minutes of this podcast, and she said, "We curse too much." Your thoughts?
Fuck that.
So I didn't write "fuck that," but I put "fuck yeah, we do." I almost wrote "fuck that," but I wasn't sure if you were going to be like "fuck that" or "fuck yeah, we do." I should have wrote "fuck that" underneath of it, because I swear to God, I was writing "fuck that" and I was like, you might say "fuck yeah, we do." So if you're listening, and so this is a sincere message, man. If you're listening and you are easily offended, if you're listening and you get really upset when random shit's being blurted out of our dumbass mouths, if you're listening and you get offended way too easily, if you're listening and you're a snowflake, fucking turn us off, because I'm going to keep cursing, Brock's going to keep cursing, and we're not going to worry about what we say on here, because that's what this is all about.
Yeah, I don't give a gosh darn dang a doodle what you
I don't give a gosh darn dang a doodle what you have to say about me or him or any of us, god damn it! That was I put a little fucking
wow, you put
country.
a little white trash in there. That was awesome.
We're in a trailer park in a shed, bro.
That's true.
This is about as white trash as you get, other than the fact that my skin color is not white.
That's true. I would say, like, you are, I gotta say this, so like when I first met you, like obviously you have a cultural background, I would say. But
sure.
You didn't,
I don't have an accent.
I honestly couldn't pin it at first. Because you did come in, you had a beard.
I did have, my beard was bigger back then. I don't wear it as big now.
So I was like, I didn't know, like, when you first walked in, I was kind of like, I saw you and I was like, man, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if I should go up and be like, welcome to my store.
Yo, fuck you, dude. Okay, I've never gotten Indian before. I've never been like, what's up, Sundeep? I don't know. Like, I've never gotten that before. But, also, when we met, I was bigger, but not at all muscular back then. Like,
true.
not very muscular back then. I was working out, not the same capacity by any stretch back then. Because I've looked back on pictures of myself when I was even store manager and I had like shirts on and stuff. Like, I definitely had a little bit of size to me, but nowhere near the same amount of size that I have now. And then now I'm definitely at a different level.
So I want to ask you this. So you wanted to come, like, obviously Bryce was my associate at the time and he recommended you. And he even told me, he goes, yeah, he's a bigger dude, but he's working out now. He's trying to get healthier. He's trying to get into shape.
Yeah. And
I said, dude, that's awesome. And were you apprehensive at first, like coming into just GNC in general? Like, did you have a notion of, you know what, maybe this, maybe I'm not ready to be here or anything like that when you first came?
Yeah, for sure. Because Is this like dying on me?
Nah,
Is that
I
what's
didn't
happening?
fill it. I fucked up. I chooch move. Never bring a lighter and not fill it if you're smoking a cigar with people, because then you just look stupid when your buddy's cigar is dying and he can't light it, but he's actually doing good.
Yeah, I lit it back up. But so yeah, I was apprehensive because I was not in the shape that I definitely want to be. I mean, no one's ever in the shape that they want to fucking be in. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Because dude, as long as I've known you, you've been in great shape. And you are still to the point where you're like, I could fucking do better. I could always do more. You know what I mean? Everybody's always like that. I was definitely very apprehensive, though, because I was fired from a company. I don't want to name names. I was fired from a company when I was trying to sell memberships to people about going to the gym, and I was fat and not working out at all. And I was fired because I was fat and not working out at all, trying to just sell gym memberships. So that bothered me because that's the only job I've ever been fired from, A. And B, I was nervous because I was thinking in my head, like, man, I'm trying to sell something that I can't sell to people because I don't even believe in it. So when I came to GNC, I was like, this needs to become my life. This needs to engulf my whole fucking life. Like, I need to be in it. I need to learn. And I remember, like, sitting there and just being like, I'm going to read all this damn book, the nutrition book when we had.
Yeah.
I sat there and read that whole fucking thing. I learned about all the different aminos. I learned about all the different vitamins. I learned about everything. But I was definitely very nervous because I was definitely not prepared, I'd say, to be in that type of a role. And I was just kind of tossed into it, too.
And the reason why, like, I kind of knew when I first sat down and talked to you that I wanted you to work there is I could feel that you were in it. Like you just said, like, you needed to put yourself in there. You needed to learn. Mm-hmm. And I resonated with that a lot because I was the same way. Like, I kind of walked in and I didn't know the whole ins and outs of supplements, nutrition, fitness, the whole thing. But I knew that because you wanted to learn and you genuinely wanted to not only help yourself, but to help other people. And you just needed that. I wouldn't even say you needed the guidance. You just needed the tools to do the things that you wanted to do.
For sure, man.
And I knew that I was like, he talks well. He's, you know, I didn't know if you were Asian or if you were Indian, but I was like, he still talks well.
Never had a fucking accent, and that was always my big thing was that. So when I got my job working for this company that I don't want to name names at, I was hired by someone we both know.
Yeah.
And I don't want to I don't like the idea of naming names, especially because he's a good dude.
He is a good dude.
So basically, what happened was I was working the front desk at this job, and I was just helping people check in at the gym instead of actually selling memberships and everything. And he heard me talking to a customer, and they just like happened to check in for the day, and I was just like bullshitting what I always do. I just talk and I get to know people, and I like doing that. So he heard me doing that, and he pulled me to the side, and he's like, "Hey man, what's your goal? Like, where do you want to be in 5 or 10 years?" And I was like, "I want to own my own gym, man. I love the idea of the gym." And I wasn't working out then, but I always knew in the back of my mind that this was a direction I was going to go in. Like, Christian Ladd told me, like, when I first started working out, he's like, "Yeah, this makes sense. It's been like a countdown to when I was going to start doing this." He's like, "You are always that guy who I knew was going to go in that direction. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen." So he heard me talking, and he's like, "Oh, you can either," and I remember him coming to me and being like, "Dude, that's awesome that you want to own your own gym, but like," he's like, "you can either own your own gym or you can get paid to work in a gym." And he's like, "And which one do you really want to do?" And I was like, "I mean, right now I kind of need the money." So I think maybe a week went by, and he moved me over, and I became a sales rep for them. And again, I didn't take the working out seriously. I had just met Mike, and Mike was putting me through workouts, and this was when Mike was like peak Mike. Like, Mike was benching over 315 for reps. Like, he was getting close to 400 at the time, to be honest with you, dude. He was a monster back then. That's insane. He was super shredded. He had like a 6-pack, and he was putting me through workouts, and I felt like a fucking piece of shit, man. I was like, man. And I remember specifically because I remember telling him, and to this day, like, we work out together, and I put his ass through workouts now, and he'll turn to me and be like, "I can't keep going, dude." And I'm like, "Dude, you don't understand how it makes me feel to know that when I first started with Mike, he put me through a workout, and I was like, I can't fucking hang. Like, I can't fucking hang." There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you know just as much as everybody else does that when we work out, you and I, and Jake, when Jake is in the gym, because Jake can't always be in the gym, but when you and I go into the gym and work out, we can go. And we can hang with anybody, and we usually do pass everybody. Like, we can work out. And Mike was that one dude who I was like, I can't fucking hang. And now, I'm training Rob.
That's crazy.
That's like, and like, Rob is Mike's fiance. I'm training Rob now. And that's where I'm at now. Where it's like, I was so far behind Mike that I could not hang with Mike. And now I'm training his fiance to put on weight and get stronger.
That's wild.
And that's just a nuts milestone in my brain, to the point where, like, I just started training Rob this week. Like, literally, we just started our sessions this week. And I'm like, that to me is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, when you joke about this shed, I think shed now, 5 years, what's it going to be? You know what I mean?
It's going to be a bigger shed.
It's going to be a bigger shed, motherfucker.
With more shit in it.
More shit in it. We're going to pack it to the fucking brim. We're not going to be able to fucking breathe in here, man. But we're still going to have our fucking shed, baby. But yeah, I thought that's pretty wild, man. But I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking about when we started. But again, I'm just fucking...
I mean, this whole podcast, we talked about me hiring you at GNC. We talked about First Form SummerSmash, cigars.
Where did you get your first job out of high school that you mentioned earlier that you got kicked out of or whatever?
Oh, I didn't get fucking kicked out.
I thought that's what you said earlier.
No, I got laid off.
Oh, well, fuck you then. What were you doing?
Anyways, I was painting.
That's ironic.
My senior year.
Fucking getting laid off painting.
Fuck you, man.
Can't even fucking paint right, you dumb motherfucker.
Fuck you. So, when I got out of... Well, I should go back a little bit further. So, my senior year of high school, I went to vocation school, CTC. And also a great flavor of Formula One, by the way. Drop that right there.
Ayo!
And
not that we're selling or anything. CTCs might be my favorite.
It's fucking phenomenal, dude.
Might be.
So my senior year, I went to Votech and I took painting and wallpaper hanging because I knew that. Yes.
Don't worry about it, Holly.
Don't worry. That's our groundskeeper again.
She's always yapping about something in her foreign language.
You
keep it down over there. We're doing a podcast, and you're over here interrupting us again. Don't worry about how the shed looks. The shed looks beautiful. A couple more. Don't worry about it, all right?
So, senior year, I took a painting and wallpaper class. My family had always been wallpaper hangers and painters, so it was just kind of felt natural for me to get into it. And it's kind of crazy. I went to Votech. I did very well, and I did get a job while I was still in school. I actually got to, like, it was the last 3 months of the school year. You could actually go out instead of going to class.
Oh, yeah.
You could go out and actually work.
Yeah,
and I did that.
And then you got out of school early and shit. That was like a thing. I remember that now. I don't think that's still a thing, but okay.
I did that while school was still in session. Summer came, and I actually moved out literally probably a couple weeks after I graduated. I was like, I need to get out. I need to be on my own. And I moved in with 3 other people. Very small house, about the size of this shed. And
about the size of this oversized closet that we're in here.
And my parents, like, they were a little apprehensive about it, but I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm not gonna look back. If I do have to move back, I'll probably jump off a bridge first because I didn't want to move back. And the funny thing was, I got laid off like right at the end of summer, and I had nothing to do. Like, I was still doing P90X, so that like kind of kept me entertained throughout the day. I was looking for places to work, but I was really thinking, like, what am I passionate about? What is it that I love? And at the time, and still is, like, fitness and being in shape was a huge passion of mine. So going to GNC, I ended up just kind of talking to a manager at the Park City, and I bugged her, like, relentlessly. Like, it was... I went in and I was like, can I have an application? I filled it out. I gave it like 2 days, and I called in. I was like...
Was it that girl that we both knew?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Alicia.
Yeah.
And
I remember her now.
I bugged her relentlessly. I was, every 2 or 3 days, I was calling the store, can I get an interview? Can I get an interview? Then I would start going in, like, in person and being like, I want an interview. And it got to the point where, and she told me this, like, months later, hey, more dogs.
No, get out of here, dog. Are you kidding me? Go, Elena.
By the way, we're just winging it, so don't think this is professional by any means.
My neighbor's dog, which my neighbor is my aunt and my cousin, their dog is out running around, and she's a free-range dog. She gets to go wherever she wants. So she just ran into the fucking shed.
She's your aunt and your cousin? Yeah, man.
Dude, that's fucked up. No, my aunt and my cousin both live there, you fucking jackwagon.
Gotcha. I just want to clarify for the people.
So you were nagging the people at GNC for an interview?
Relentlessly. And it got to the point, she even told me, like, months later after, like, I moved from part-time to full-time and then into management. All that happened within, like, a 3-month span. She told me, like, on my 4th month and I was doing well. She goes, yeah, honestly, I would have never thought in a million years that you would have been such a good hire. She's like, I was kind of hoping you were just going to fade away into the background. But she goes, I'm glad.
That's not what we do, my friend. That's not what we fucking do.
And ever since then, like, that's just kind of how I do things and you do things. Like, if we're going to make something happen, we'll find a way to make it work. Just like this podcast, we're doing it in a shed. I love it, and we're going to make this thing work, and I hope people are entertained. I don't know, maybe like episode 3 we'll start losing people. But...
Are you not entertained? You know what? I was thinking about this earlier today. I was literally sitting in the break room at my job today, and I'm sitting there, and there's pizza there, because a customer came in and bought us pizza. And I was sitting there, and I had my little lunch that I picked up, and like I was like, this is what I'm gonna eat today. I already had my good breakfast. I'm having my good lunch. I'm gonna go home and eat my steak. I'm gonna eat super clean today. And I remember sitting there and thinking in my head, and I was like, you know what, man? All the things I accomplished. I've done my 100 days clean, where I had no cheat meals for 100 days, and I lost all my size because I was strictly focused on like, I can do this. I kept my strength for the most part, but I lost a lot of my size. But I get these ideas in my head where it's very similar to what you say about with the Olympics and all that kind of stuff that you want to do. I get these ideas in my head, and I just keep repeating them back to myself. And the one that I keep repeating back to myself now is, even today, I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I could lose a fucking 100 pounds if I felt like it. And if I fucking feel like it, I'm going to fucking do it. And that's where I'm kind of at now, where like I'm starting to get to the point where I'm just like, you know what, man? Being big is fun, and I like that I'm a lineman. Hey! Hell yeah, Jose. Ripping down on the street on the motorcycle. I'm at the point now in my life where I'm like, you know what, man? If I want to lose 100 fucking pounds, I'm going to lose 100 fucking pounds. And I keep getting closer and closer to the idea of just being like, fuck you, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. And I'm at that point now where like I was just staring at the pizza, and I was like, I could eat that fucking pizza and it wouldn't really change very much. But that goal in the back of my mind just kept fucking yelling at me. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, I'm kind of getting sick of my own bullshit with the being a big dude and blah, blah, blah. And especially now training Rob, I'm like, you know what, man? Doesn't it seem a little hypocritical of me to not lose a crazy amount of weight when I have a client who is trying to do something magnificent? Like, he's trying to become a big shredded monster, and I'm over here like eating pizza and, you know, being an asshole. Like, so that was part of the reason why, like, in my brain I was just like, you know what, man? And you and I are both very similar in that way, where if you came to me and you would say some crazy outlandish bullshit, like, I want to run a fucking 3-minute mile.
Jesus.
I wouldn't turn to you.
Fucking no. I'm going to say this right now. Never ever will Black Belt Brock run a 3-minute fucking mile. That sounds terrible.
Fucking happening. But you and I both have that mindset where, like, if I repeated it to you enough times, you'd be like, yeah, dude, I get that you're going to do it. Like, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. And I don't like quoting Thanos, but it is inevitable.
I am Iron Man. So we got to cut this off because we're actually getting close to the end here.
We are getting close to the end, but I really want to talk about the Olympics. So
dude, we don't have enough time for that.
No, but let's just jump off and just do like 10 more minutes to talk about the Olympics real quick, because I really want to do that.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to end this podcast. And we're going to talk for a little bit, but episode 3, maybe we'll focus a little bit more on that. And this is just me personally, I don't like talking about myself for long periods of time. I prefer hearing what the people around me are doing, because that motivates me for the stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So if my story helps people and motivates people, then I'm cool with talking about it. But we'll see what the people say. Like, let's get some feedback. Like, if you listen to this whole thing, fucking salute yourself, because
fuck yeah, dude.
You listen to us ramble for almost a whole hour. If you get to the end of this, maybe you skip to the end. I don't know. But if you're hearing this, leave a comment. If you want to hear about specific things, like maybe episode 3, we'll kind of focus in a little more. We'll talk more about Olympic stuff. And then if you have other things you want to hear us just kind of vomit from our mouth and just talk about, let us know.
Sounds good to me, man. So let's cut this bad boy off, and we're going to say goodnight. And, dude, we went much more straightforward with this podcast.
Oh, we were all over the place, dude.
We were all over the place, as fucking usual. But, super happy with the way this one went, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But yeah, let's have people hit us up. I got feedback from a decent amount of people, dude. I'm excited about the amount of people that hit us up, that had views, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna pump this bad boy out there, and we're gonna see what people spit us back with, and we're gonna try to aim for this weekend for episode 3.
Sounds good.
Because we have a couple of people who want to be on the podcast, and we need to start pumping them out.
Fuck yeah, Kevin Hart's coming in next week.
Kevin Hart, man. We got Gene Simmons.
Michael Jordan.
Michael fucking... Dude, I would literally cry if Michael Jordan...
That'd be pretty fucking cool.
Dude, I would cry. I would legit be like, I can't fucking do the podcast. I can't do it. He's the best. He's the greatest.
So, yeah.
And if you're a LeBron fan, go fuck yourself, my friend. No, I'm just kidding. But MJ all day. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much for listening in to We're Just Going to Fucking Wing It. Yo, should we going to come up with a cool thing for the last 30 seconds to, like, you want a catchphrase or something that we could fucking say, or something cool that we can finish on? Do you have anything fun to say, or?
Catch you pussies on the taint side.
Suck my fucking dick, dude.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone.